The operation is working perfectly. Scientists are being ostracized, disorganized throughout the world.
You must find the most effective and efficient methods to be used against them.
Well, I don't think our leader could have possibly chosen anyone who could do a better job than you.
The theory of man-made global warming has been debunked by several thousand emails which were released by very, very nice hackers, very nice people.
For a complete dissection of the phony climate email hacking story, see the previous videos linked here. The investigations are in, the story is nonsense. But that hasn't stopped the anti-science movement from pursuing its agenda.
Many prominent climate scientists now saying that they are being severely harassed.
I hope someone gets you in a dark alley.
The FBI tells ABC News it's looking into a spike in threatening emails to climate scientists like Penn State's Michael Mann.
6 feet under with the roots is where you should be. I was hoping I would see the news that you committed suicide. Do it. It's an attempt to chill the discourse, and I think that's what's most disconcerting.
A white supremacist website recently posted Mann's picture alongside several other climate scientists with the word Jew next to each image.
There's very nice people.
For professional anti-science activists like Mark Morano, threats and intimidation are an essential part of the democratic process.
The public is appropriately angry at these scientists. And again, no one's advocating violence, but it is refreshing to see these scientists hear from the public.
It's refreshing to hear that Mr. Morano finds death threats refreshing.
There's very nice people.
As his contribution to civility in the dialogue, Mr. Morano has called for climate scientists to be publicly flogged. Since a new inquisition has not yet been declared, Mr. Morano contents himself to publish scientist emails on his website, inviting readers to send refreshing comments.
There's very nice people.
The 12th century theme has been picked up by others in the anti-science camp. Virginia Attorney General Ken Cuccinelli is most famous for his crusade against the indecency of the Virginia State Seal, which he finds entirely too arousing. Mr. Cuccinelli has launched a probe into climate research conducted by the University of Virginia, which the Washington Post called a war on freedom of academic inquiry. Another well-known science denier and defender of public morality is Senator James Inhofe.
I'm really proud to say that in the recorded history of our family, we've never had a divorce or any kind of a homosexual relationship.
In language reminiscent of the McCarthy era, Mr. Inhofe has called for some of the world's best scientists to be prosecuted as criminals. The prestigious science journal Nature has noted that for climate deniers, civility, honesty, fact, and perspective are irrelevant, and the scientists must acknowledge they are in a street fight. Fortunately, though their tactics are medieval, in the battle of wits, climate deniers have come lightly armed. The climate hack story has now been thoroughly investigated by major journalistic and scientific organizations across the planet. The Associated Press wrote that nothing in the emails undercuts the vast body of evidence showing the world is warming because of man-made greenhouse gas emissions. FactCheck.org declared that nothing in the hacked email story changes the science behind global warming, finding such claims to be wide of the mark. Senator Inhofe's charges were examined by Pulitzer Prize-winning PolitiFact.com and earned a resounding false on its Truthometer rating system. But for the anti-science movement, denial is a hard habit to break.
Now stand aside, worthy adversary.
'Tis but a scratch.
A scratch? Your arm's off.
No, it isn't.
Well, what's that then?
I've heard worse.
You liar!
Come on, you pansy!
An investigation by Penn State University into scientist Michael Mann, a prominent figure in the affair, turned up no substance and no credible evidence of any wrongdoing. A major inquiry by the UK House of Commons concluded, insofar as we've been able to consider accusations of dishonesty, we consider that there is no case to answer. The journal Nature, in its investigation, found no evidence of the alleged scientific conspiracy. In the continuing reviews, climate deniers have found themselves increasingly disarmed. The American Association for the Advancement of Science once again reviewed the evidence and reiterated that global climate change caused by humans is underway and is a growing threat to society. The American Meteorological Society conducted its own evaluation of the evidence and reaffirmed yet again the science behind global climate change. The Geological Society of America conducted a review of its own position statement on global climate in light of the most recent findings and concluded the Society concurs with assessments of the National Academies of Science, the National Research Council, and the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change that global climate has warmed and that human activities account for most of the warming since the middle 1900s.
Look, you stupid bastard, you've got no arms left.
Yes, I have.
Look!
Just a flesh wound.
Look, stop that!
Chicken! Chicken!
Look, I'll have your leg. Right!
A dramatic and unusual statement by 255 members of the National Academy of Science, published in the journal Science, stated, "When some conclusions have been thoroughly and deeply tested, questioned, and examined, they gain the status of well-established theories and are often spoken of as facts. When someone says that society should wait until scientists are absolutely certain before taking any action on climate change, it is the same as saying society should never take action. For a problem as potentially catastrophic as climate change, taking no action poses a dangerous risk for our planet." Climate deniers have been left without a leg to stand on, but lack of evidence has never been a hindrance to the anti-science chorus. Like Reverend Moon's Washington Times, a bewildering menagerie of shrill and paranoid websites, and the quiet, soft-spoken men in comfortable offices who sound the silent dog whistle message to a small but essential fraction of their readers.
Very nice people.
Meanwhile, back in the real world, hundreds died last month in South Asia as a recent hellish heat wave pushed temperatures in Pakistan to an astonishing 128 degrees Fahrenheit on Wednesday, May 26th. NASA announced that the 12-month running mean global temperature has reached a new record high, and northern polar sea ice extent reached a new historic low for this date, eclipsing the record set in 2007. In Stanford University polling data, 86% of respondents said they wanted government to limit the amount of air pollution that businesses emit. 76% favored limiting emissions of greenhouse gases in particular. A similar poll by Yale researchers showed 77% of Americans supported regulating carbon dioxide as a pollutant, and 65% support a treaty to cut CO2 emissions by 90% by the year 2050. Perhaps someday, climate deniers will succeed in banning scientific inquiry, intellectual freedom, and nipples. But we hope not. Our lives would be poorer for it. I hope you'll keep coming back to this series, where we cut through the noise, seek the best information on global climate, and we don't just swallow anything. At Climate Denial, Crock of the Week.